Hello everyone, this is Group 8 team and we are here to present to you the Bombardier Ecojet project. Before we delve into the presentation for today, we need to let you know that Bombardier is a Canadian business jet manufacturer that the headquarters is in Montreal. And we need to show you two videos, which the first one shows the range of business jet aircraft that Bombardier manufactures, and then the second one showcases what the Ecojet is all about. So, as I said earlier, Bombardier Inc. was founded in 1942, but the Ecojet project is an innovative research project aimed to developing more sustainable business aircraft. And then the aim of it is to reduce aircraft emission by up to 50% using aerodynamic, propulsion, and other enhancements. So the features of the proposed aircraft is a blended wing body aircraft configuration with a significant departure from the traditional aircraft design. Is currently at the research phase, and then the initial phase was completed with flight testing of an 8-foot wingspan prototype in 2017. The current phase, testing of an 18-foot prototype, which first flew in was first flew in 2022. Then the focus of it is that Bombardier has a commitment to achieve a zero emission by 2050. So the image here is showing the various business jet, luxury products that Bombardier offer to their customers. So as I said earlier, that Bombardier is strategically competitive, and this has kept them as one of the leading aircraft manufacturers in the aerospace industry. They have been able to show their strategic competitiveness in their technologically expertise in the aero industry which means that they have a deep knowledge base in the aircraft manufacturing, and then they have good innovation culture. Their brand is very strong, and then they have good reputation. And through this, they've been able to establish trust and then brand awareness. They are customer centric. Through their customer centric approach, they've been able to provide customizations and then luxury and comfort to what's it called, their products. And this can actually be seen in their newest product, the Challenger 8000. They have a robust manufacturing and then research and development capabilities. They have global service and support networks. That means they have comprehensive after-sales support and then customer assistance, and then they have strategic partnership and alliance. They have been able to use the available resources and capabilities and core competencies to discover a market which Ecojet will be able to serve. So the essence of the Ecojet project is to develop aircraft that significantly reduce carbon emission and then improve fuel efficiency. So this has enabled them to discover additional core competencies which will be used in the Ecojet project to enable them gain competitive advantage and earn above average returns over their rivals. So their strategic competitiveness can only be achieved when it has successfully implemented the formulated strategies to enable them create Ecojet, which is a value created for their customers who are keen about fuel efficient aircraft. This can only be achieved by using a differentiation model in the beginning before later looking into cost reduction as a future plan. So for Bombardier to decide to go into the manufacturing of Ecojet, it shows that they have certain core competencies, and this is what they've been able to build on to go into this project. So part of the some of the core competencies that they have is that they have advanced aerospace engineering. That means they are technological. They have technological experts in airplane manufacturing, and then they are very innovative in their design, as we can see in some of their products. Then we can also see that that their research and development capabilities too is very strong because they continue to innovate and then develop their products, which we can also see in the Ecojet project, which shows that which shows the continuous innovation. Then their customer centric approach, trying to meet trying to meet a customer's demand, and then working on customization of products and then luxury, and then giving customers a very wow what's it called experience at the end of the using of their products. Then also we can see that they have strong brand and market presence, and then this is been able to showcase through their reputation for quality, and then the customers trusting their brand. Then they have global service and then support after sales service. They have what's it called strategic partnership and alliances, and then efficient manufacturing capabilities, which shows that they have high quality products, and then their product is scalable, and then the market insight and adaptability. That means they understand customers' need, and then agility. So all these are what they've been able to build on to enable them to go into the Ecojet project. Now, some of the resources that Bombardier has that gives them a leverage to go into the Ecojet project can actually be seen as can actually be divided into two, as tangible resources and intangible resources. Those tangible resources are the ones that are observed and quantified, like production equipment, the manufacturing facilities, distribution center, and then from their formal reporting what's called structure. Whereby the intangible resources are the assets that are rooted deeply in the what's it called the firm's history that has been accumulated over time, and then um, this has also been relatively difficult for competitors to analyze and imitate, and this can actually be seen in their technological resources, their market reputation, their innovative structure, then their customer base, supply chain, and then government and regulatory support. So these are the resources that Bombardier actually has, that has given them, you know, the leverage to go into the Ecojet project. So the other resources that Bombardier has that is giving them an edge to go into the Ecojet project are their capabilities, competitive advantage, industry attractiveness, and then their focus differentiation strategies. So all these are very important for them to actually what's it called analyze, so that Ecojet project will be a success. And this can actually be seen, in their, we can see that they are part of their competitive advantage is that, they are technologically, what's it called, innovative. They use what's called state of the art materials, for their product. Then their operations is very, very efficient. Is in terms of their cost of operations is very low, and then they have good performance metrics. And then for their industry attractiveness, we can see that there's a higher what's it called, growth potential in the industry which they play. And then it is a kind of industry that's being driven by technology, and then it focuses on the premium segment, of the industry. These are the external environmental factors that has supported Bombardier for them to go into the Ecojet project. This range from the market opportunities that's available for Bombardier and the Ecojet, the market threats that are there, and then the industry competition, and then the competitor analysis. So since Bombardier is going into the new project called Ecojet, it is important for them to perform external environmental analysis. This will enable them to navigate through the turbulent, complex, and then the global condition during the era of establishing this Ecojet project. And this analysis can be done in 4 different parts: through scanning, monitoring, fostering, and then assessing. So the scanning will involve the identifying of the early warnings of potential future challenges in the external environment. And in this case, Bombardier Ecojet project should keep up to date with trends and developments in the aircraft industry. Also, for monitoring, it means they need to go a step further to identify the patterns and trends in the what's it called, aircraft manufacturing industry. So Bombardier needs to be tracking certain developments in the green aviation technologies, and then the market preferences over time. So, and then thirdly, Bombardier should be able to forecast the future trends using the information that is being gathered around within the industry. And then for the Ecojet project, with forecasting, Bombardier should be able to make informed decisions with respect to the course of the action and then the information that they've been able to gather to enable them to leverage the industry to work on the expected future of the Ecojet project. Then, fourthly, there should be an assessment after the scanning, monitoring, and the forecasting has been done. There should be an assessment, which is an implication to foreseen trends and the development gathered from the earlier mentioned other three parts of the analysis.
Now let's go into deep details of the business level strategies. The objective of Bombardier is to develop and market an eco-friendly jet leveraging its core competencies in aerospace technology and innovation. Bombardier's capabilities in advanced aerodynamics, lightweight materials, and fuel efficient engines are one of the core competencies. The relationship between customers and business level strategies is crucial for aligning the company's offerings with customer needs to achieve competitive advantage. Now, this can be better understood by dividing it into who, what, and why. In terms of who, we need to understand who are the customers or who are the owners of the private jet. So, targeting environmentally conscious airlines and private jet owners. In terms of what, providing a jet with reduced carbon emissions, improved fuel efficiency, and advanced technological features. In terms of how, utilizing Bombardier's R&D capabilities to innovate and integrate greenhouse technology in jet design and manufacturing. Now the Porter's five forces analysis for Ecojet. By applying Porter five forces analysis, it gives us a deep understanding on the competitive scenario of the aviation industry. The threat of new entrants. High R&D cost and technological expertise required for developing eco-friendly jets can act as a barrier to new entrants. In terms of bargaining power of suppliers, maintaining a strong relationship with suppliers of green technologies to ensure a competitive edge. Bargaining power of buyers. Focusing on creating a strong value propositions through superior technology and sustainability benefits to reduce buyers' bargaining power. Threat of substitute products. Mitigating the threat by continuously innovating and improving Ecojet's unique eco-friendly features. In terms of rivalry among existing competitors, differentiating through advanced sustainable technology and brand reputation for innovation in aerospace. Out of the five business level strategies, we feel that Bombardier's Ecojet lies between integrated cost leadership and differentiation. Now, it can be achieved through differentiation through innovation, cost reduction through efficiency, balance innovation, future proofing, value engineering, market segmentation. This integrated approach lets Bombardier offer a revolutionary aircraft with cost savings and advanced eco friendly technologies, balancing innovation and cost to give the EcoJet broad market appeal and competitive edge in aviation. Model of competitive rivalry. We have taken Ecojet versus Airbus as one of the examples to evaluate these factors. The competitive analysis. Market commonality. The partnership between Airbus and Ecojet to integrate sustainable technologies into aviation reflects significant markets commonality. Airbus's commitment to deployment of eco-friendly aircraft aligns with Ecojet vision to decarbonize the aviation. Ecojet plans to initially operate in the UK and to and fro in Edinburgh and then expand globally. In terms of resource similarity, Airbus develops its efficient aircraft and Ecojet uses its hydrogen electric propulsion system. In terms of the drivers of competitive behavior, awareness. Both Airbus and Ecojet are acutely aware of competitive landscape in sustainable aviation. The strategic collaboration and commitment to innovation demonstrates a comprehensive understanding of the market demands and technological trends. Motivation. Airbus' ambition to pioneer eco-friendly aircraft and Ecojet's mission to become the world's first electric airline drive their competitive behaviors and strategic choices. Additionally, the UK government JetSets Zero strategy further motivates its alliance, aligning to their goals with the national sustainability policies. The ability. The technological capability of both Airbus and Ecojet is showcased through their joint efforts to use hydrogen electric engines. Financially, the partnership with Monte ensures that Ecojet has the necessary resources to support these ambitious projects. The third is competitive rivalry. In terms of likelihood of attack, the market, Ecojet's market entry, supported by Airbus technological advances, possesses a significant competitive threat to traditional airlines and other eco-friendly competitors. They focus on market dynamics, prompting traditional airlines to reconsider their strategies. The adoption of cutting-edge hydrogen electric propulsion technology by Ecojet, with Airbus support, positions them as technological leaders and likely triggering the competitive responses. The likelihood of responses. Competitors are likely to respond to Airbus Ecojet Alliance by accelerating their own sustainability initiatives. This may include adopting similar technologies such as SAFs or enhancing fuel efficiency to stay competitive. Traditional airlines might also intensify their sustainability efforts to counter zero emission offerings. The last is the outcomes. In terms of the leadership, Ecojet positions as the frontrunners in sustainable aviation, attracting environmentally conscious travelers. The brand identity, it builds a strong national brand and international brand as well. Cost competitiveness, zero emission flights at competitive market prices enhance the market share. The long-term savings, retrofitting the existing aircraft saves emission and reduces the operational costs. A framework of competitive rivalry. The different examples of competitors taken over here are British Airways, Airbus, Embraer, and Universal Hydrogen. When it comes to discussion of level 1, which is high market commonality and high resource similarity, the common things between Airbus and Ecojet are they compete in the same regional aviation markets. Resource similarity is basically strong commitment to hydrogen electric propulsion and other sustainable aviation technologies. With respect to level 2, which is high market commonality but low resource similarity, British Airways is the best example because they both target UK market, and in terms of resource similarity, it is low because the traditional propulsion system is being used and sustainability efforts are focused on SAF, which is sustainable aviation fuel, rather than hydrogen electric propulsion, which is the key case in terms of Ecojet. The third is level 3, where the market commonality and the resource similarity both are at lower bar. Embraer is the example because it focuses on the regional and global markets outside the UK, whereas the resource similarity is very low as well because it gives less emphasis on the hydrogen electric propulsion and sustainability technologies. The fourth one is the level 4 is actually high resource similarity but low on the market commonality. Universal hydrogen is the example because it focuses on broader markets including North America and Europe, not specific to UK. The resource similarity is is actually high because similar investments are being made in the hydrogen electric propulsion technologies. So this is the way in which the competitive rivalry is mapped for Ecojet versus these competitors. For the value creating diversification strategies, the relationship between diversification and performance is curvilinear. For the dominant business scenario, it focuses primarily on expanding Ecojet within the business jet market, maintaining a low diversification. This strategy maximizes the performance potential through focused expertise and resource allocation. So if you see the strategy, it talks about expanding Ecojet product line, developing advanced Ecojet variants, and creating a premium for Ecojet service and maintenance. In terms of performance versus diversification, it is low on diversification and high on potential performance. With respect to the related constraints, in terms of strategy, apply Ecojet tech in eco-friendly regional jets, establishing a sustainable aviation fuel division, and developing lightweight composites of aerospace. It can be a moderate diversification and potentially high on performance. With respect to unrelated business, enter clean energy with wind turbines, develop marine propulsion system, and launch urban air mobility. Your diversification is going to be high and potentially lower initial performance. Value creating values of diversification. First is related constraint diversification. Leveraging existing expertise in business jets to develop advanced eco-friendly business jets. Focusing on synergies between Ecojet and Bombardier's current portfolio like global series to improve the efficiency and cost. Expanding the aftermarket services by offering specialized maintenance services and upgrade services to ensure long-term customer support. In terms of both operational and corporate related, operational diversification, utilizing the Bombardier's manufacturing and R&D capabilities to enhance Ecojet's development and achieve operational efficiencies. Corporate diversification, leveraging Bombardier's brand reputation, financial strength, and industry relationship to support Ecojet's market entry and sustainability goals. Unrelated diversification, entering the new markets, exploring the electric vehicles and other renewable energy projects so as to reduce the dependency on aviation. Also, developing new business model which aim for expanding the business, maybe like fractional ownership or which will help into cross-border benefits can be useful in this case. Related linked diversification, expanding the product portfolio like regional transport or cargo systems, which will improve the market penetration, and expanding into defense sector will also be helpful in this case.
Thank you, Shweta, for that. So we'll be looking at acquisition, and we believe that that's one of the most viable option for Ecojet right now. And looking at this diagram, it's talking about some of the things or some of the advantages Bombardier can generate if they engage in acquisition of some of these competitors. And some of these competitors are like Embraer, Airbus, Zero, Ever as well. So looking at this diagram, they can have access to increased market power because they're going to be fusing the resources and capability of these competitors together with their own to ensure that they have competitive advantage. Also, we can have access to increased speed to market. For example, Embraer is trying to get into China in the next couple of years, and we don't believe that Bombardier is in that market right now. So if they kind of acquire Embraer, they would have access to that market. And when they have access to that market, they will have good speed to that market and they would be able to establish themselves in that market as well. Then also, acquisition can help Bombardier to learn new capabilities to be used that can be used for the production of Ecojet since they are still like in the phase it hasn't been completed right now. They may develop new capabilities that would help them to complete the project. Now, we'll be looking at some of the benefits of acquisition for Ecojet, and in doing that, we did a comparison of some of the products that the competitors of Bombardier are doing right now with Bombardier, and this can be shown in the figure above, where we highlighted some of the products of the competitors. Then looking at down part of the slide, we look at market outlook between 2023 to 2024 for Embraer. So we can see that right now they're actually in markets such as North America, Europe and CSI, Middle East, Latin America, Africa, China, and Asia as well. But in future, they are looking to go into China to have a 4.4% RPK. RPK means revenue passenger kilometer. This shows that more passengers are using the airlines. So this is a market Embraer is going to look into. So if Bombardier acquires them right now, then they can leverage on that. They will go into that market. They would have competitive advantage and they'll be able to establish themselves in that market as well. And also, an high one is also Latin America. They can acquire this company so that they will have access to this market, which will be a good thing for their product, Ecojet. Then, despite the fact that there are some benefits attached to acquisition, that doesn't mean that acquisition doesn't have its own problem as well, because sometimes it might be very difficult to integrate the operations of these different companies or these different firms that are coming together. And also the fact that if they're not able to integrate some of their activities or operations, then there may be difficulty in achieving synergy as well. And when there's no synergy between these firms, it's kind of difficult for the acquisition to work. And we know that acquisition is cost effective, it's cost capital. You need a lot of money and capital to do acquisition for it to be successful. So that might actually be a problem that Bombardier can face because they need to know what their financial situation is right now. Is acquisition something they can delve into? They need to look at that angle if they can throw out a lot of money into acquiring some of their competitors and if it's going to be beneficial in the long run. Then we'll be looking at international strategy. But when we are looking at international strategy, there are some determinants of national advantage that needs to be considered, which is shown in this paragraph, which is shown in this diagram, sorry. One is the factors of production. Do Bombardier have the input necessary to compete, such as labor, the specialized skills? They need to consider that. Do they have that right now? Then the demand as well. Do they have demand in their local markets before they even decide to go international? Then they need to know about the rivalry. There are some companies that are established in that market, international market they are going into. If they decide to go into they decide to use the international strategy. So they need to know, they need to get their facts right, they need to get information about the market before they go into it. But if they're able to, then it's actually a good platform for them to establish themselves and to also grow internationally. Then these are some of the potential benefits and incentives that make people use the international strategy. First, increase market size, economics of scale, then location advantage to the effect that they will have access to some of the materials they need for the Ecojet. So they will have access to labor, they will have access to a lot of things that can help them in the production of Ecojet. And also they will have access to technologies, they will have access to consumers they don't have access to, they will have access to market they don't have access to, like China, like maybe Brazil, like Latin America and the likes. Then also, for now, Bombardier is using the global strategy, but in future we're saying maybe they can fuse global and multi-domestic strategy together for them to have a competitive advantage towards the Ecojet project. We all know that the global strategy is being adopted and it emphasizes the economic of scale, whereas multi-domestic strategy is based on high local responsiveness. So they need to have a fusion of this so that they'll be able to satisfy their local markets, and at the same time they would have access to the international markets. So they'll be able to serve the need of their local people while they also attend to the people on the international level. That would give them an edge over their competitors, because then they'll be serving like two markets simultaneously. Then these are just some of the advantages and disadvantages of the three types of strategic alliance we have. And we believe synergistic alliance is the best form of alliance for Ecojet to go into right now, because of the economies of scale and the ability to create synergy between firms as well. Then complementary strategic alliance. Complementary, this is one of the four levels of business level cooperative strategy, which includes complementary strategic alliance, competition response strategy, uncertainty reducing strategy, and competition reducing strategy. We believe complementary strategic alliance is good for Bombardier right now, because complementary strategic alliance involves firms sharing some of their resources in complementary ways to create a competitive advantage. Now, some of the benefits Bombardier can gain from this alliance that will help them with the Ecojet is they will have access to diverse technology and capabilities, cost reduction, they'll have access to new customer markets which they've never penetrated before. And I'll still come back to China. Then resource sharing. Then on the right side of this slide, we've looked at the fact that one of the competitors of Bombardier right now is Zero Eva, because Zero Eva is they are looking into future to make sure they have hydro propulsion systems and lower emissions as well. So if and since Bombardier is looking at reducing emission by 50%, so if they form an alliance with Zero Eva, they can gain benefits of sustainable aviation, advanced technologies, innovation, low operating costs, and cost sharing. And we know that once companies share costs, then of yours, their operating cost is going to reduce, and they can also have zero emissions, which is one of the reasons why they are bringing about the Ecojet in the first place. Now, a strategic alliance usefulness for the Ecojet. In this slide, we've looked at how strategic alliance can be useful for Ecojet by looking at the stock price of Bombardier and Airbus, which is one of the major competitors of um, Bombardier. So we could see that the stock price of Ecojet is really doing great. Their stock price has been really increasing over the years, at least looking from 2022 to 2024. So they are doing great, they are doing well. So forming a strategic alliance with them, Bombardier can share costs, share resources, and share risk. And when they do that, they can use this to ensure that the EcoJet production goes on smoothly, because they will have access, they don't have to use all their resources, they don't have to bear the brunt of the risk alone, they can share it, they can diversify risk. And like I said earlier, we believe synergistic alliance is still like the best out of the strategic alliance, because it will allow Bombardier to form alliances with firms that can assist them with the resource and capabilities they require for the EcoJet project. And for example, we talk about Embraer, Zero Eva, Airbus, which we believe are the major competitors of Ecojet, a major competitor of Bombardier, and if they form an alliance with them, it will give them a stronghold. It will enable them to be able to market their products, the Ecojet, and will give them a competitive advantage in the market. And this, on the long run, will bring about revenue. And when there's high revenue, of course, we know that the company will continue to grow, and they would establish themselves in the market as well. People will see them, people want to patronize them, people want to have things to do with them. And we believe that's something that is good for Bombardier right now, as regards them being able to finish up the Ecojet project. Thank you. Now I'll let my other group member take over from here. Thank you.
Now we're going to talk about corporate governance and possible solutions to avoid agency problems in Ecojet. First, we're considering the salary structure for Ecojet managers, having a base salary, having annual bonuses, let's say financial and innovation bonuses, and long-term incentive. Then we have enhanced transparency, have regular financial reports, annual general meetings, and internal audits to ensure compliance. Then we have dispute resolution policies. Ecojet should implement a conflict resolution committee. They need to resolve 90% of conflicts within 60 days. They need to have regular communication and feedback. They can have quarterly meetings and achieve at least 75% of attendance. With these solutions, they can avoid the agency problems. Now we're going to talk about manager and shareholder risk and diversification. According to analysis, we are locating Ecojet in a related constraint strategy, and we're gonna suggest possible actions to improve Ecojet's related constraint position. First, they need to invest in R&D. They need to increase investment research, focus on eco-friendly aviation technologies. They need to allocate 20% of the annual R&D budget to sustainable aviation projects. Our second proposal is a market expansion. They need to expand into new markets with a high demand of sustainable aviation solutions. They need to increase presence in at least 2 new countries or regional annually. And our last action is to diversify investment portfolio. They need to allocate no more than 20% of total investment budget to a single project. Our proposed actions have limitations that Ecojet needs to consider. We can mention the resource constraint. They have financial, human resource, technological, market and operational resource constraint that could limit their actions. They also have regulatory challenges, environmental standards that they need to comply, certifications for new technology, and international regulations that they need to consider. They also have market risk. They need to accept the adoption of the new product. They have more competitions, and there's a political uncertainty for new markets. We also need to consider what are the expectations from the Canadian government. So they're expecting to have regulatory support, get favorable policies and regulations, infrastructure and development. They can have public-private partnership, collaborate with institutions, and funding and grants. They need financial investment and have some taxes incentive as well. According to our previous analysis, we are considering that the best fit structure for Ecojet is the multidivisional structure because they have a related constraint strategy. This strategy will allow to Ecojet to have a better decision-making structure and can divide the decision-making process. The reason for using a multidivisional structure, first, is they can focus on specialization. That's what they are trying to get, having a different product. Second is the flexibility and responsiveness that this structure can have for making decisions. And third is the strategic alignment and control. As we mentioned before, they have a related constraint strategy, and this can allow them to have a better control to their decisions. Now we're going to discuss a little further about how the competitive multidivisional structure can help with the differentiation strategy that Ecojet has. So first, they are gonna focus on innovation and specialization. They need to establish independent division with Ecojet to target specific market opportunities. They also need to hire develop experts in each division's focus area. Second, the resource allocation. Ecojet needs divisions based on their performance and strategic potential, and they need to implement resource sharing programs. And finally, the autonomy and flexibility. They need to give Ecojet division the autonomy to make strategic and operational decisions. Each division will need to develop its own competitive strategies tailored to its specific markets and customer base. Now we're going to talk about business level cooperative strategies that Ecojet can implement or what options they have. First, we recommend that they need to form strategic alliances with complementary firms. They can partner with a leading battery manufacturer to develop advanced energy storage solution for eco-friendly aircraft. They can establish a joint venture with a renewable energy company to co-develop and market solar power aircraft systems. They also have collaborative R&D. They can collaborate with an aerospatial engineering technology university. They can get a license partnership agreement as well from a tech company to enhance technology. And finally, they can have supply chain partnerships. They can partner with a supplier specializing in biodegradable materials to source eco-friendly components for aircraft interiors. Now we're going to talk about strategic leadership and how this can help enhance strategic outcomes. We have highlighted some key aspects for Ecojet. First is the mission and vision. They need to have a clear and well-defined mission and vision that needs to be known by all the employees. Second, they need to empower their employees. They need to give them the authority to make decisions and not only wait for managers' directions. They need to maintain flexibility in their organizational structure. If the strategy is not working, it's going to be easier to change directions. They also need to focus on ethical practices, especially because the diversification strategy that they are having, it's about having clean energy practices. So it's important to follow all regulamentations and government requirements. And they also need to have effective resource management. They need to have the best suppliers for them. An important part of strategic leadership is managerial succession. We're considering that the best fit for Ecojet will be the internal CEO succession with an heterogeneous top management team. Because first, they give you continuity and stability. They ensure that CEO is familiar with Ecojet and culture and values. The CEO will provide stability during this transition. Second is innovation through diversity. This team is going to bring diverse ideas and perspectives, are going to give a culture of innovation inside the existing framework. And third is employee morale and retention. It's going to give a signal of internal growth for other employees, and it's going to increase retention rates and a more engaged workforce for Ecojet. That's why we think that having an heterogeneous top management will give this innovation key for Ecojet, and having an internal CEO will give this stability for everyone.
Thank you so much everyone for your time. And these are all the references which have been used for the presentation. Thank you.